There's no rain coming down. But I want to get out today and talk about social anxiety. But not been diagnosed yet. I have not been diagnosed with any social anxiety. I'm not anybody that knows about all this in depth, but I just know what I have felt throughout my life. So when I would have to speak in front of the class, the things that were going on in my body that people told me that was shy, I'm like, there's no way this is just simply being shy. My body is literally feel like it's physiologically fighting for survival. Heart racing. You start sweating. All these things start happening in your body all at once, like it's a battle inside of you that nobody else sees, right? But you feel it. Like your heart beats so fast, your body feel like it's shaking. So I'm like, what is that? It has to be more than just being shy. There's no way this is just shy. So I just reading up on everything, like what, and then I came across social anxiety, and I'm like, dang, those are all the symptoms that I experience. Could I possibly suffer from or experience social anxiety? I don't like to say suffer. I'm not suffering because it can be overcome, but it's like, am I expect? Is that what I'm experiencing? And of course, stuff like that growing up, I guess when I was growing up, wasn't like known about as much. Now it's all out there, it's all out there, and whatever the case is. So I can sympathize with people that experience those things. So what I did to start to try to fight against these feelings that I was feeling growing up. So it all started once I went to college. That's a fight and battle in its own. Being someone that experiences this, you would think going to college, it'd be the scariest thing ever, right? But it wasn't. I took this as an opportunity to grow, to battle back against those type of feelings. So I switched it up going to college. I started sitting in front of the classroom, raising my hand a little more, not being afraid to speak out in front of people, not being afraid to be seen, right? So all those things started happening. That's what I challenged myself when I went off to college. So another thing I started doing when we have class presentations, projects, and things like that, what helped me, what helped me the most was making sure I was like overly prepared. That eased some of that anxiety for me. I would, plan extra hard. I would research extra hard. Like I wanted to know the information, like I can spit out verbatim. I want to just know it, like overly know the information. So when it came time, at that mindset, that way of going about things to prepare for speaking in front of the class and those things, I was more prepared. So they eased some of the anxiety, eased some of the tension and things that I was feeling. Because I used to feel, I dreaded the time I had class presentations. It wasn't just a simple dread. It was, man, again, anxiety, like these sweats where I didn't know it was anxiety. I just knew what I was experiencing. I was like, oh, I'm just shocked. That's what everybody told me. Oh, he's just shocked. Nah, my heart racing, me sweating, me feel like I'm shaking and nervous and things. That is just beyond being shy. That's how I felt. But once I started research, what you got to do, you research and study, like, okay, this is what this may have been. But I found ways to kind of manage it a bit. Do I still feel it? Yes, I do. It took me a while to even apply to supervisory positions because I'm like, I don't believe in myself enough to be able to speak in front of people confidently. So I wouldn't apply for supervisory positions. Right? So I got over that fear. And so I started doing it because I'm like, I started gaining a little more confidence. What really helped me is when I graduated from my alma mater. I'm an alumni of North Carolina A&T State University, right? So I gained the opportunity after I graduated with my master's to be an adjunct professor, which is a part-time professor. But you're teaching real classes you took yourself because it was in my department, but you're taking real classes. These aren't whatever bullcrap classes. These are 3 credit classes. These are classes that apply to the actual major for people to graduate. So what I was doing, I was a graduate office assistant to one of my former professors, and she gave me the opportunity. Just this. She gave me the opportunity. She said, "Hey, you want to be a professor? Want to be a part-time professor?" I'm like, I don't know. That the anxiety started to kick in. I don't know if we stand in front of 30, 40 students on a regular basis, several times a week. I don't know. She's like, you can do it. You know the information. I know you know the information. I've seen your grades. I know what you're capable of, which was the sentiment from all my professors. They were super confident in me. That's why I said going to college, I can never say that was a mistake. There's no way I can say going to college was a mistake, because the confidence they instilled in me was beyond something that you can imagine for somebody that felt like me, growing up and coming into the situation. But she was like, I know you can do it. So I did it. So I taught, 2 to 3 classes a week, starting out. Talking classroom. I'm talking 25 to 30 students each semester that I don't know. I don't know these students. They're ranging from 18 years old coming in as freshmen to 60-year-olds wanting to go back to school. So I taught a wide range of age groups. You have to know your information or they're going to call you out on it. So that's what made me even more confident in myself. Like, if I can do this, like teach several classes a week in front of people I do not know at all, I gained so much confidence doing that. That helped me with that anxiety I used to feel going to have to speak in front of people, right? And again, it goes back to preparation for me. So I'll usually overly prepare for those classes, make sure I know all the information, making sure I know what I want to speak on, not giving myself too much to the point I'm up there fumbling around, which is going to create even more anxiety, right? Just preparation is what helped me with my anxiety, right? Again, I'm not diagnosed with this, but I know what I feel. I can eat all those feelings I said. I know what I feel. And when you look at the definition, I'm like, those are the things that I was feeling. It wasn't simply just being shy, right? So that's my experience with social anxiety, right? Because at the same time, I say all that, I don't know if anybody else looking at this video experienced when you have to walk into a room full of people and it's just you having to walk in there. You feel kind of awkward. That's me, man. That's me. And I know a lot of people will look at me, probably don't even think that, but there's so much that goes on inside of me that people don't see, that I fight through for certain situations. I may appear confident on the outside, but inside it's a battle and turning like no other. But I overcome it, because if it's something I want to do and it's something I want to do for people, I'm going to do it, right? So it's a battle for me, but I get it done. So if you're out there struggling with those things, I suggest you challenge yourself, right? I even challenged myself with a part-time job I got when I was off to college. It was talking to people, just working in the gym or whatnot. So I had to go around and I had to talk to people. I had to greet people. I had to be social. I had to be around different people every single day. That part-time job helped me out a lot. Like, I put myself in situations to be uncomfortable. It might not help everybody, but it helped me. And I would say, don't avoid it. Put yourself in situations where you're hard to be uncomfortable, where you're going to have to fight back against those feelings you're feeling, right? Don't just accept this is social anxiety and I can't do this and I can't do that. No, fight against it, right? Fight against it.